Hey everyone, my name is Alan Weiser. I'm the writer-director of Cole. Jennifer Mallet, our producer, is also here. Isaac Steele, our lead tech, is here. So I just drove 2 hours with no air conditioning, so let's see how well my brain remembers what I'm supposed to say. So Cole is a 2D action art game, a dark comedy action art game. We're developing it for the iOS and Android touch devices. And we're just going to jump right in and show you some footage from our prototype. This is kind of the intro to the game. This is temp art, temp everything. This is just a prototype we threw together. So Cole takes place on the SS spaceship, and you play this creature that's been genetically engineered and created for one purpose, which is to shovel coal into the furnace that powers the SS spaceship. So here you can see you've been birthed. You're taken over here to the learn zone, where you learn the controls. And you can kind of see the vibe of the 2D animation we're going for, kind of Adventure Time inspired, but with a little more darker, more melancholy edge than Adventure Time. And you can see he has a lot of animation sets. We kind of want this to look almost as much as a 2D animated movie than as a video game. So you can see you're thrown into the coal pit. This is how the intro of the game will work. You take some coal over here. You take it to the other side of the room and throw it in the furnace. This is your job as a slave. This is your only purpose. And then you start all over. And the slaves around you will get faster and faster, and if you get someone, you get zapped. And that's basically it. That's the entire game. Unless this little vent over here catches your eye and you decide to whack it, and then the game doesn't hint at you that you can do this, but if you do this, you can climb in and start exploring the rest of the massive, imaginative SS spaceship, where the real adventure will begin. So as you can see, you can kind of, explore, you can jump off walls, you can find a big fan. This is how you explore the ship with these acrobatic movements. So as you're exploring the ship, there are two major things you're going to find. The first is, how do I go forward? Where's the mouse?
Oh, there. Oh, never mind.
There we go. There we go. Okay, the first is enemies. These are little blue robot guard guys who want to catch you and put you back in the slave hole. And the way you defeat them is you kind of jump up, you hit them with your shovel, and you can jump off their dead body as it sputters to the ground. And a lot of the combat is going to deal with these long airborne combos. And you can see some concept art of these other enemies we're working on. See on the top there's a guy who's basically a spinning fan blade, and you kind of jump through his blades, which makes him fall to the ground, and you can jump off him. On the left there's that big fat guy, and he kind of poops out the smaller blue enemies. So a big part of the job of our artists is to breathe life into these quirky enemies so the player can then take that life by murdering the enemy.
Yeah.
And so the second big thing you're going to find is different other creatures who escaped the coal room. And each one will have a different personality. Some might be nice, some might be mean. Each one will treat you differently. And you will always have the option whether to go right up and murder them and take their food, which you will need to survive, or you can kind of befriend them, talk with them. They probably won't give you all your food, but maybe they'll tell you where you can find some food, or they'll give you some food if you do a favor. And so a big part of the game will be meeting with all these different escapees, and your overall goal is to get to the top of the ship so you can confront the captain of the ship and hopefully free everybody. So I'm going to show you a prototype. We made this just the other week. This is one of the characters we're working on. This is a prototype of the conversation system. So you see, you run into this guy and say he's home. So he's flexing his muscles. He said, "I wanted to see you with those beautiful muscles. How are you doing?" The player says, "Hungry. Your muscles sure look hungry. Hungry for muscles." "Where'd you get those muscles? The very small muscle store?" The player says, "Ha ha. Laughing at yourself? You're digging me. Your muscles." So the idea, this is kind of a minor character, but the idea is this guy's going to pretty much mercilessly insult you, and you can choose to, kill him and take all his food, or kind of withstand his insults, and then he'll probably give you some food. That's just a minor character. There'll be more in-depth characters that will send you on more complicated missions. But a big part of the artist's job is going to be creating this cast of characters These are just a few that we're working on. On the left, there's a guy who's found this room of like video cassettes, and he doesn't know what they are, so he kind of strings the ribbons all around himself. He's obsessed with the tapes. So yeah, a big part of your job would be, designing these fun, weird characters and animating them. Backgrounds is also another big area of art that we need. You can see on the top there's this area that's kind of the garden greenhouse level of ships where they grow a lot of their food. On the left is an area where they kind of grow and incubate the slave guys. And on the bottom there is an area, there's a sequence of the game where you get like shoved out into space and you have to get back in the ship. And all these arts, by the way, were arted by LCAD students. The top two were by Justin Scott, who I think I saw, maybe? Yeah. And the bottom one was by Anne Tang. Who's So what do we need? We could really use an art director, someone to just oversee our team of artists. We already have artists from USC, LCAD, CalArts, and Otis. So you'd be overseeing this, team of passionate artists. Making sure the aesthetic is consistent and, consistent style and quality, and you could be able to bring your own style into it. We're also looking for 2D animators, which a lot of that will be, character animation. We have a big cast. I think we're at like 2 dozen different characters we're starting to do all the dialogue sheets for, and we'd like to get as many of those in the game as possible. Those 2 things don't describe you, but you're still interested in the project, please come up, tell us what your skill set is, and we'll see if we have a place for you. So for our grand finale, we made a trailer for this game just to promote it. I'm not sure we have sound. Let's see.
Is your life monotonous?
Yes.
How about routine?
Yeah.
Well, meet Cole, the perfect companion. In Cole, you play as an alien slave. Bring Cole from one side of the room to the other, then start all over.
Huh.
Cole is monotonous, rote, with nothing unexpected or surprising at all.
Nothing? Wow.
Game Person magazine says, no surprising twists or turns. Exactly what it says it is.
Wow. It's just like my terrible life. Thanks, Cole.
Cole, like Cole. A simple Cole trouble insinuator. That's all it is.
See with that commercial where, we're trying to keep it a secret that it's not just a cool shuffling game while still trying to hint that there's more. So please, if you're interested in the game, please come talk to me or Jennifer. We'll probably be by the pizza eating it. Or that's my email, that's our Facebook. And yeah, please come talk to us. Thank you.